What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Finn from the Mikasa Sukasa Network. Today we are going to look into two plays that the Eagles ran and the philosophies behind them that led to them winning the Super Bowl. Obviously, there's a lot of factors that go into winning the Super Bowl, but play calling is one of the most important things, especially in a situation where you have a backup quarterback like Nick Foles playing in the game. So, with things, when you have guys like Carson Wentz or your starting quarterback, there might be things that you can't do when you come to Nick Foles in terms of pre-snap adjustments or just, the differences between a starting caliber quarterback that was playing at an MVP level or Nick Foles, who played well in those last two playoffs games, but he's just not the same as a guy like Carson Wentz, and you can't run the same offense to an extent. So let's look at two touchdowns that the Eagles had against the Patriots in the Super Bowl. Let's go over how it worked, what concepts did they use, and what did they do to make the game easier for a guy like Nick Foles. So the first one we're going to look into is this 22-19 here in the third quarter, about 7.5 minutes left, and we're at 3rd and 6. So throughout the game, if you go back and look at the game at all, you'll notice that Zach Ertz is probably the most important receiver on this team throughout the game. Constantly targeted in man situations, constantly targeted on third down, and here on this 3rd and 6, just outside of the red zone, the Eagles were kind of looking to do the same, and the Patriots knew that. So what you're going to come out here with is the Eagles are going to load out into their formation. And the first thing we're going to notice is their running back, Clement, who ends up catching the touchdown on this play, is down here at the bottom of the screen coming in motion back. So that's the first thing to notice, and that's going to be the main similarity between the two plays, is using this pre-snap motion to identify what defense. So first thing to notice here is at the top of the screen, we have these two receivers stacked there at the top. And you notice there's two men on them, and they're kind of mirroring. So one's really close to the line of scrimmage, one's right behind. This is to avoid them getting picked. If you have crosses crossing across each other, you can't decide. So one high, one low, and then you have an understanding. I have the inside guy. You have whatever guy comes to the outside, whatever. So that's kind of our first indication that it's man coverage. The second is, look who is guarding that running back who motions into the backfield. So you may not be able to see the number. That's number 59, and he's a pass rusher. He's an outside linebacker for this team, and you see that he's going to slide down into his normal position, which is pass rushing in that four-man front. But you notice with him going all the way outside here to follow 30, we know that his job on this play is not to pass rush, because if we snap the ball here, he has to follow 30. That's his man. And in a zone situation, say it was cover 2, cover 3, cover 4, whatever zone you wanted to be, it would be a cornerback down there. Sorry about that thing flashing on the screen there, but it would be a cornerback down there low, right at the 20 number. It wouldn't be the linebacker following him out, because if it was zone, it would just be my responsibility. This is this field, and we have cornerbacks out here, running linebackers inside. But because everybody has a man assignment, and that guy's man assignment is indeed the running back, with the running back out there, he has to follow, and then we motion him. We got the information. Got it. It's man coverage. We know this. All right, so let's get him inside. All right. Bam. We know we have man coverage. Another thing to notice is the safeties. There's one safety back on the 10-yard line. He's kind of playing the middle of the field here, that right hash. The other safety is on the 15-yard line. He's the, closest to the left corner of the defense. And he's got eyes on Zach Ertz. Zach Ertz is, I know you can't see my cursor, but there's a receiver on the left side, there's the running back, and then there's Zach Ertz lined up at tight end on the left side. So what we're going to see is, we know we have man coverage. We know we have one safety high. Why is McCourty, that other safety, so close to the line of scrimmage with eyes on Ertz? Well, that's because they're going to do this concept called bracket coverage. So, look at the receiver here at the with his man across him right on the 20-yard line at the bottom. He's going to run a slant, so he's going to take 3 steps and cut across the field from left to right. That's a clear out. That's just to get another man out of the play. Then the Devin McCourty, the safety here at the bottom left, and the linebacker who is kind of right in the middle of the triangle of the safety of the cornerback is going to be also in man coverage on Ertz. So when we're talking about bracketing, that means essentially one guy is responsible for the inside and one guy is responsible for the outside. So if we kind of zoom this play forward a little bit, we'll see that receiver runs that slant. This one's actually more of a one-step slant. But look at the two guys on Ertz. We have a guy, his hips are facing towards Ertz with the inside, and then McCourty, the safety, here on the 15-yard line is responsible for the outside. And you see that based on how their hips are. And they're basically going to mirror him. So as Ertz cuts inside, the linebacker's ready, and he can take that play out of the playbook. Easy day. So you have a double team bracket coverage on Ertz. You had the man coverage at the top, and they switch off just like we talked about before. At the very top of the screen, you see them switching. And then you have a safety playing deep over the top of the whole play. So what's the goal here? Well, obviously, when we see man coverage, the Eagles want to go at Zach Ertz, just like we talked about. They have an in route or a dig, depends on who you call it, by Ertz after following that slant, that clear out slant. And then we had the bracket coverage on Ertz. After that, following is we have a streak. It's not really a wheel by the running back because the wheel would entail coming all the way to the left side and up. It's kind of he actually starts out like he's going that way, and he shoots vertical. And it creates a high-low concept. So a high-low concept makes it easy. You're talking about your quarterback's eyes. You know, I read. I have the in, and I have the streak going past it. And I just read. If Devin McCourty steps up and plays that dig route by Ertz, I go over the top. If he backs all the way up, I know Ertz is by himself, and I trust my man to make a play. That's pretty much the concept here. And like we saw before, you like the matchup because you have a pass rushing linebacker who's not really good in coverage against the running back who you know can catch the football. Because that guy that, you'll see him, that guy that's all the way out here, when he motions back in, he's not going to, it looks like he's going to rush the quarterback, but watch him, the guy that ran out, when the ball gets snapped, he's going to sprint all the way back out to try and play that running back. And he gets caught playing bad pass defense, and then we get the catch. And that's when we're talking about that high-low. So you see McCourty's got eyes on Ertz, and by then the running back is already behind it. Nick Foles is already to throw, is ready to throw the football. Ball's being released, and you have all that open field down the left side, and he gets the ball in there. So let's look at it from another angle. Actually, let's go ahead and watch this play all the way through. So we motion our man in. We know it's man coverage, so we're going to play high-low here. I'm watching Ertz. That's my first read. I got bracket coverage. Okay, I got the streak over the top, and we'll throw it in there, fitting in a tight window. Good throw. Easy, easy, easy day there. And let's watch this from another view so we can kind of see. Now, Zach Ertz is number 86 there. You're going to see the safety in the top left and the linebacker kind of mirroring him. It's actually another safety. That's a 3-safety set by Matt Patricia. So his eyes, Ertz, oh, I don't have it. And you see it move over to the left. And you see that. You see his eyes, Nick Foles' eyes, the quarterback. He's looking at Ertz. Ertz is covered, and he moves his eyes to the left and gets the ball down into the tight window. Great throw, but that's the concept, and that's what allows Nick to make that read. Is it an easy read? Depends on how much you think a quarterback should get paid in that situation. So let's go down to later in the game-winning play here by the Eagles, and how they utilize that pre-snap motion and movement to reveal the defense and open up lanes. So now we're at 32-33 after the Patriots scored. We got 2.5 minutes left in the fourth quarter, 3rd and 7. 3rd and 7, once again, we talked about it. If we can identify man coverage, we want to go with Zach Ertz. I mean, he's a big body. He's a great route runner. So first thing to notice is down at the bottom of the screen, you see this little trips. We call it a bunch, so it's 3 receivers all bunched together, and you see how it's being mirrored. So you have 1 guy forward, 2 guys back. Look at the defense. 1 guy forward, 2 guys back. This is our first indicator of man coverage, not to mention there's a safety at the top of the screen on Zach Ertz. Remember, if it's a zone, it's going to be a corner out there. But because it's man coverage and that's his man, he has to go out there despite it being a corner's position. So that's Devin McCourty, who played corner before he switched to safety. So you like the matchup in man coverage from the Patriots' point of view. And then we have this safety all the way at the top right who's responsible for the running back. How do we know he's responsible for the running back? Well, that's when we talk about this pre-snap motion. You see how he's going, sprints across the field, and you see how he's followed by that safety? So one of the things that teams like to do is they'll run a screen with this guy, this 30, this receiver, see how he's looking for the ball, and then say hypothetically that safety doesn't follow Clement back across the field. Well, now I have 3 receiver blockers against 3 defenders and a man with the ball. So essentially it's a 4v3 at that scenario. So sometimes you'll throw a quick screen, get a block, hope for a missed tackle. But because this safety comes running across the field in man coverage, look at what it opens up. At the top of the screen, you have a slant route to your big-bodied tight end. It's wide open. All Nick has to do is wait for his man to get open, and you see that linebacker stepping up to kind of play the zone. Just don't hit him, and we'll show it from the other angle, and you'll see how easy, like how much room, because that linebacker really needs to drop back a little bit more, but he gets kind of drawn up and stepping forward into the play. That's Kyle Van Noy. He's not really a pass coverage linebacker. That's what Detroit drafted him to be, but he's not. He's a pass rusher. He's a run stopper. So it's no surprise that in coverage he did the wrong thing. That's why he didn't work in Detroit. But anyways, so that's the concept here. Pre-snap motion reveals to Nick Foles that it's man. He knows exactly who is going to. He doesn't even look at anybody else. We know exactly where the play's going. It's going to our guy, Zach Ertz, who's one-on-one with a smaller body, and I just have to not throw this ball into a linebacker's arms because I'm going to trust my guy to get good separation, a strong push away, forcing McCourty to the ground for the game-winning touchdown. Let's watch this from another view. And we're going to be watching 53, the linebacker, because he's going to be the one that plays the pass zone wrong. What he needs to do is he needs to back up. He steps up at the snap, and maybe he wasn't ready, but he's going to step up. He needs to get depth. He needs to drop back because really there's so much room to throw this football. I mean, it's not even close. He's not even remotely close to stopping this screen or this slant. And it's just a bad look. There's the touchdown to our man. So what do we pull from this video? First off, you can use pre-snap motion to reveal a defense. You can also use having running backs and tight ends out wide at receiver spots like we see Zach Ertz at the top. And if we see safeties and linebackers following those guys out there, we're going to know that it's man coverage. And being able to reveal the defense before the snap really makes the game so much easier. And that's really what Doug Peterson and this offense did for Nick Foles, because when you're talking about, think about playing quarterback. Imagine this for me. You remember those booklets where you'd have a picture, and then on the next page was the same picture, but with slight differences, and you had to notice the 13 differences, and it was always something, you'd find 12 of them, and one would be hard, but it takes a while to spot the differences. So playing quarterback is a lot like that, because you have the pre-snap picture, and as soon as you say hike, it's like flipping the picture pages over. And now, without having the original one for reference, you only have your memory. I now have to figure out what was different and make a decision based off that. I would say the average time in the pocket for a quarterback is like 3 seconds, if not less. So I have 3 seconds to locate what 11 people are doing differently than they were before, or what it looked like they were going to do, and then make a decision based off of that. So being able to, I guess, get a sneak peek before I get to snap the football, using that motion, placing somebody outside, little tactics to make that page shift easier for the quarterback so that he has some more information within his arsenal. So when I do say hike and the picture changes and all I have is my memory, it's almost like getting a sneak preview, like being able to see through the pages and see on the other side and see what's there before actually flipping. So that's the key with a young quarterback. That's the key with a quarterback that isn't your starter, that may not be the best at making post-snap reads. So getting information prior to the snap was crucial to Nick Foles' success against Minnesota, and is the reason that these two plays were successful in scoring against New England Patriots. That's all for this film review. If you want to see more of the Super Bowl or the Eagles run in the playoffs, I got plenty of material we can do on that. If you want to see another player, we can do another player's film review. It's too easy. Just go ahead and drop a comment. What player you want to see, what team you want to see. Is there any specific concepts that you want to see and how the different teams in the NFL run them differently? I'm open up to anything. Go ahead and let me know. Make sure you guys like and subscribe if you want more sports content for the Mikasa Sukasa Network. Make sure you follow the podcast. Follow us on Facebook at Mikasa Sukasa Network. Now, remember, this is a very political-based network, so there might be a move over to getting a sports specific so everybody can have their own sports side and network and political side. But for now, they're together, so make sure you're kind of weeding out, making sure you want to see what you want to see. But if you enjoy the sports stuff, a like, a subscribe, a comment to let me know what you like, what you didn't like, what you think could be done better would do a lot into making sure we get the content you guys want. So thank you very much. Y'all be easy.